Hello and welcome to Tech 24 with me, Anelise Borges. Today I'll take you on a tour of the city of the future, what it looks like and how we'll live in it. Here in Paris, we'll visit a digital fortress to see how a military fort from the 19th century was turned into a high-tech eco-neighborhood. Then we'll take a quick trip to Europe's most connected city and one of the largest smart city experiments in the world, Santander in Spain. Also in this edition, we'll show you how homes are getting smarter and take a sneak peek at the house of the future. In southwest Paris, an ambitious urban development program is underway. 3,500 people live here at this groundbreaking sustainable neighborhood where hot water and heating are produced by geothermal energy and waste collection is carried out by a pneumatic underground system. Welcome to Fort d'Issy. Eric Legal, Director of Issy Media, thanks for joining us today.
Bonjour.
Tell us a little bit more about some of the features of this smart neighborhood of Fort d'Issy.
The Fort d'Issy Smart City project is packed with innovative ideas. It's a concrete example of how we see the city of tomorrow. There are more than 1,600 homes, all tech-centered. Flats are fitted out with fiber-optic cables and home automation systems. For example, you can pay for your car parking using your mobile phone. And we're green. Our energy is supplied by geothermal power, a renewable source of energy. Waste is collected using an underground pressurized gas system, meaning there are no unpleasant rubbish lorries and all the noise you get with rubbish collection. Admin buildings also respect the environment. One school was built entirely out of recycled timber and straw. That's a first in France. And we're working to make sure that level of innovation applies to all public spaces.
And how are you making sure that today's projects are not going to become obsolete in the near future?
Well, to avoid that problem, we decided not to make concessions on technology when we came up with our list of targets. We knew, to give you one example, that we needed to deliver apartments with the fastest fiber-optic internet connection possible, for example, to try and avoid digital obsolescence. However, we know the home automation systems will become obsolete at some point, despite the fact that we have a maintenance provider to keep an eye on hardware. Avoiding technology which might become obsolete in the near future is a major problem. It's constantly on our minds.
We are at a smart neighborhood in the southwest region of Paris. What do you think the future holds for a city like Paris?
Our project aims to serve as an example for larger areas. We're already putting some initiatives to the test in Paris, such as the waste collection system. Some of the home automation technology is also being experimented with. If a project like this becomes a reference, we can all advance faster. An initiative like ours only makes sense if larger urban areas follow our example.
Thank you so much for that, Eric Legal. And cities around the world aim to become smart cities, and the future is already a reality in Santander in Spain.
Despite its charming coast, Santander is increasingly drawing visitors for a different reason. The city's covered with sensors like these: buses, taxis and pavements. No surface lies forgotten. There are some 20,000 at work, constantly transmitting all kinds of information. Air quality, temperature and noise level are processed and displayed on maps. Here, the red zones are the noisiest. Traffic flow is also monitored to provide services. For example, drivers are guided to the nearest free parking spaces.
In this area, we can see there are now 13, while now 12 spots available, and in this street there are 3.
These signs connect with sensors in each parking space, which then detect whether the spot's occupied. With no need to drive in circles, congestion and pollution are reduced. Public transport too is connected. Any bus's location can be found by scanning its code with a smartphone.
Bus number 3 will arrive in 3 minutes. It's 124 meters away.
I can see where the buses are. Also the train timetables and which ranks have taxis available. It's really reliable. Makes life a lot easier.
Another application, the City Guide. When viewing a street, icons for nearby businesses and shops appear and can be scanned to gain information on the likes of promotions and opening times. Santander's public services are connected to the system, so they can be more efficiently managed.
In the midst of the economic crisis, it's extremely important for public money to be used in the best way possible, and technology allows us to optimize the use of these funds and to do more with less.
Early results say connecting public lighting to the sensors saves at least 50% on electricity, and local authorities are determined to develop the system even further.
The next step is to install sensors in the city's dumpsters. By monitoring how full they are, it will allow us to adapt the circulation of garbage trucks, depending on where they're most needed. We'll also put sensors on drains to monitor water quality.
Soon all public services will be connected, but already many consider Santander a global prototype for smart cities.
One of the key components of a smart city is a smart house, and I'm now at the Explorer, Microsoft's experiment of a smart house, and I'm joined by Dan and Jake Hadilkar. Dan, how exactly does a smart house work?
Well, homes in which electronic devices, lighting and heating appliances, and even kitchen appliances, all of which are connected together by, say, Wi-Fi or other radio frequencies, which can be controlled by your smartphone or by a tablet. All this categorizes into a smart home.
And what are some of the features or components of this experiment that we will see in the home of the future?
Well, this Microsoft Explorer experiment is very interesting as it demonstrates the kind of homes which we might inhabit in the near future. For example, here I'm giving an example to control different devices on the big screen, but you can do it on a portable or on a phone or on a tablet as well. Here you can control the blinds of the house, you can control the lighting, then there you can control the music. And yeah, there are many things that you can do from here. You can control the kitchen appliances as well. You can control the lighting of the kitchen. And you can also control the temperature of this apartment. All in all, at the ease of just sitting on the sofa, you can have your mobile phone at in your hands, and you can literally control the home.
And what are some of the benefits and drawbacks of smart homes?
Well, the obvious benefits are that you can have enhanced security, you can have enhanced comfort, and the ease of controlling all these appliances, maybe from your couch or even if you're miles away from the home. And ironically, the disadvantages are that because all these devices are connected by Wi-Fi, they become susceptible to hacking. And there's a danger that these devices, for example, if your security is completely dependent on the particular device which is connected to the Wi-Fi, then it could get compromised by a hacker.
Microsoft's founder, Bill Gates, was one of the pioneers of connecting devices and appliances at home. He spent $100 million on his smart house. I don't know many people who could afford that. And high costs continue to be a prohibitive factor when it comes to making our homes smarter.
Well, the cost depends upon the level of sophistication you want in a smart home. Of course, gone are the days when you had to spend or you had to be super rich to have these devices in your house. And you must also consider that or remember that the entire business or entire functioning of the smart house, it revolves around your smartphones. These smartphones have become ubiquitous. Everyone can afford smartphones, and consequently, I think the smart devices makers are also trying to ensure that even the most ordinary citizen, they can afford some smart devices. And so you have Google's Nest, which has now come up with thermostat controller, then smoke detector, smart smoke detector, then Belkin and Revolve, they have these smart hubs in which you can control all the devices using your phones. You don't need different applications, or you don't need different phones or different objects to control different appliances.
Thanks for that, Dan.
Thank you.
And now we're going to get an even closer look at these smart homes. Take a look at this report.
On the move, with his home security system in the palm of his hand, Jerome can keep an eye on his house thanks to an app which connects him to his surveillance camera.
I can get an email directly with the person of the photo who just rang.
And security is not where technology ends. With just one touch, Jerem's smartphone can control the room temperature and lighting. In all, he coughed up €20,000, but it was worth it, he says. It cut his energy bills by 10%. Such an investment attracts more and more customers. In developed countries, the industry is expected to see a 5-fold increase by 2020, generating some €5 trillion. And this Parisian company is ready to take advantage of the growing trend.
This interactive kitchen will allow me to access my recipes from here.
Nearby in Versailles, international students compete to design green, energy-sufficient housing. Nothing's gone to waste. The walls are made of plastic bottles to regulate the room temperature.
The water absorbs the heat and it keeps it in there. It has a natural property in which it keeps the heat and then it releases it in a cycle 12 hours later.
An entire green village is mushrooming in Versailles, with 20 homes functioning with solar energy only. Although some are student projects, others have already attracted buyers.
I hope you enjoyed this special edition of Tech24. Let us know your thoughts and ideas via Facebook or on Twitter. Our hashtag is Tech24. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.